Hi everyone, it's Karen here for Artist Live, and I have an art journaling page I'm going to be doing for you today using some coarse salt or kosher salt and some sea salt, and just going to show you some fun techniques. So let me turn on the camera so we can get started. I always struggle with this one. Let's hope this one is good. So let me get it a bit closer. Am I doing well today? Okay, let's try. Okay, I'm still struggling with these angles. I don't know why. I should never move my camera, but I always want to say hi to you guys in person. So I try, and then I screw up, and then I spend this whole time trying to fix it. Okay, I think it's good. All right, so this is my art journaling pages. Just to let you know, this is a Dilutions large art journal. I am going to create just the first technique on this one, but then I'm going to switch to my other art journal that it's already prepped. So I can show you, because you need a drying time for this one, and I had to prepare it in advance. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to protect this. As you can see, I've already sprayed some stuff on this, and it goes through. So I don't like that because it gets really soggy. So I'm just using a little bit of masking tape to protect the seam. Okay, and because I don't like the way this looks, I usually just want to add gesso, and I'm going to prep the page with some gesso. So just going to, okay, this is just heavy gesso, Finnabair heavy gesso, and I'm just covering it just so I might even dilute it a little bit, just so it's easier to make it smooth, to make it a bit smoother, because this is a really thick gesso, but we don't really need this thickness. We just need to prep the page and cover it. So I'm just giving it a light coat. I even need a little bit more water. Yeah, so it's fun, Janelle, for you to start an art journal. It's always nice to have it. I've been telling a few people that they should just get themselves art journal, just so if you want to experiment some of the techniques and you don't want to ruin a layout or a page, it's just a good idea for you to do that. It's a good way of not wasting expensive material and just trying techniques, and then just the way, just it might surprise you what you like and what you don't like. So there's that, and I'm going to do the other side too, and then dry it up. I'm just going to add a little bit more water, so then I can prep it better, because otherwise it's too thick. I think I'm at the bottom of my pot. That's what happened. And the reason why I cannot show you the journal in advance is because it's in the same, in the other book that is already prepped. So if I turn the page, all the preparation will come off, all the salt and stuff. So I can't really show you until after I remove the salt from that page, and you'll know what I mean in a second. So this is basically what I'm doing. There we go. So that's just really nothing. I didn't do anything to it. I just hi Rika. I just basically putting it all and just getting it dry. And if you see, Yasmin is there. She's gonna be putting the links to all the products for those of you who are interested. I mean, the heavy gesso, you might know it, but still she might put the link for that. And Rika is there to help too in case. Seems really dark. Why is it so dark? I think it's because it's white. Once I put something else, it will get lighter. In the meantime, I'm going to prep some other things that I have here. Okay. Oops. It's still very wet. And I just need it to be dry because I'm going to be adding some color bursts, Ken Oliver's color bursts, some few colors, and I'll tell you the colors in a second. And yeah, I saw Zep, your name is Pauline. Hi Pauline. Just wanted to say hi. Oh, is there a message from Jasmine? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, it's not, it's censored. I forgot to, oh no. Well, it's, sorry, why does it say censored? I forgot to allow URLs. Rika, did you add that now? I see it's on now. Try putting that link again. Put the link again. Sorry, Yasmin, I forgot to turn on the URL allowance. Okay, hi Virag. Okay, sorry about all this. It's just almost dry. I tried to thin it out. Okay, so you don't really have to prep the page. I mean, you don't have to put the gesso. The nice thing about these Delusion journals is that they're really good for taking mixed media. They are good for that. So I wanted to do this because I was trying to kind of cover up the tape and just to make it, you know, more better for the watercolors that I'm going to be putting on. I just don't want it to be still wet, because then what's going to happen if your background is still wet, what's going to happen is that when you add the water, it's going to become mushy. So you really want it to be dry. Oops, you see, and that one is still wet, so I'm just going to kind of wipe it. You see what happens? So this is what I mean. But it's nice texture, don't get me wrong. I'm being impatient, but you don't have to do that. You cannot see it, but let me lift it up and you'll see there's like a texturized area there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I use 3 colors of color bursts. This is called Yellow Ochre, Burnt Amber, and Terre Verte. I don't know if I'm saying them correctly. This is probably a French word. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of sprinkle some of them here. I'm just creating a background to this, so you can see when I'm spraying these. I mean, this one you can, but the yellow one you couldn't. And so now this is no new technique. This is nothing that I've discovered. Just in case you have not seen this technique, I'm showing it to you. Now I'm just spraying it with water. And you see how the reason why I protect it is because somehow all the water wants to pull up right in the center somehow. And I want to really have it wet. And I'm going to kind of like let it go this way and this. Ooh, and need to wipe it here. It's going everywhere. So yeah, maybe I put a little bit too much water. And the reason why I wanted to kind of move, I wanted to move onto the page, not so much in the middle, but you see why I had to protect it, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some salt on it, okay? Now, I've used 2 different types of salt, and I've experimented with both. These are basically sea salt for baths, and I just basically sprinkle this. These are really thick and coarse, and as soon as you put it on, it kind of sucks up all the areas. Let me just put something behind here. So sorry. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna put some more, just in some areas, and I'm going to wet things a little bit more and put some more. So this is basically all I did. I also added some kosher salt, and this is kosher salt. Most things I've seen them done with this. I just put in a little jar. It's a really coarse kind of salt. If you see it, I'll just show you. I mean I can show you like this, okay? So it's very coarse. It's not fine salt. And I mixed the 2 of them because I really wanted to create a really cool effect. And you can see how it sucks it all up. I think I need a little bit more here also. So what I like about it is because it kind of sucks up the liquid part of it. I want to there's still some watercolor left in all these areas, and I want to kind of work with them. And I like this effect that you know, like kind of psychedelic, I don't know. I love how these the nice thing about the color bursts is that they come in different like they have different colors inside of them. Okay, so when you're adding them, I don't know if you have any questions. When you're adding them, there's you see how you can see there's some yellow and blue and different colors within the same one. So okay, so yeah, so you can do this with regular watercolors. You don't have to use the color bursts. You can just use, as long as you have water. I was actually thinking of just doing it just with water and see how it goes, how it turns, because I'll tell you why, and I'll show you in the next once I show you the next one. This I'm gonna, but what you have to do is that you have to let this dry overnight, or for a few hours for that matter. Okay, so this side is going to be a little bit more texturized than the other one, just because of the way the journal is, but I do want to add a little bit more. And okay, so this is basically what it is. And I don't want to cover the whole thing. I want to leave some areas wet, some areas blank. Okay, just trying to disperse the salt a little bit. And I'm going to show you my next, the other journal. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to basically put it aside and let it dry. So next, I'm going to move this and I'm going to show you the one that I already finished and it's dried up. And you can use this technique on layouts or different things. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so there is, oops, this is not it. This is something else. All right, so you can see this is the same thing, just a smaller journal because I have one of each size. And what I'm going to do is this does not belong to here. This is a rose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to use a credit card because this is literally, you'll think it's not, but it's actually stuck to the background. And I'm going to show you how cool it looks. So if you can hear me scraping, it's because I'm literally scraping and things are going everywhere. I'm not sure if you could use these again. I mean, I think these were, I have to use them a second time, but they were not as stained as these ones are. But I mean, salt is pretty cheap, so you can just go ahead and buy a new one. If you have any questions, let me know. So you can let it dry overnight, or meaning just let it dry fully. It doesn't have to be overnight, but let it dry fully. It makes really cool backgrounds, and I'm going to show you. Sorry, I'm trying to scrape it all off. Let me just throw some of it in the garbage because I have too much. Hold on. Okay, almost done. And I'm going to show you this from closer. Oops, let me turn this around. I don't want it to go on my desk. So the interesting thing that I noticed when this happens is that besides the pattern that you get from the salt, okay, I want to show you something. And this, I think it has to do with almost like cooking, or what the properties of salt are. Let me just wipe my table. It's full of salt everywhere now. This is an old credit card. So the way that I see this, and I'm going to show you this from close up. So besides the pattern, you guys can see the patterns of the big stones, right? But I'm going to try to get this as close as possible to show you. Okay, so you see these small ones, they're the patterns, but it's also like almost like a texture. It actually is rough, and some of the areas where the salt was, even when the salt wasn't, stayed with a rough, kind of a rough texture to it. So what the salt did is it actually, I think, and I don't know, I'm not a scientific kind of person, the salt drew out all the moisture from the paper too, besides the moisture that I had sprayed. So it took everything out and it kind of made these bumps on the actual paper. So not only did the pattern happen around the rocks, but it actually drew the moisture out of the paper. Now I'm going to show you the original one, and I'll show you what I meant. So this is the original page, and if you see these, do you see these dots over here? These dots were made with the salt. They were actually made by the salt. So the salt, they became these really rough bumps after I did that. So I thought it was really cool that it came that way. Okay, so this is basically the layout we're gonna do, similar to this. I mean, not similar, it'll be the same, because I want to show you a few techniques on this page. Okay, so the next thing I did is I grabbed some, one second. Oh, this is the Distress ink. It's Walnut Stain, and I am going to, and I used, hold on. Oh, what happens to my stuff? Oh, there it is. Okay. The sponge, just wanted to, so I wanted to add a little bit of darkness to the edges. So that's all I did. Nothing scientific about this. My other one had a little bit more white space to it. So I got a little bit more of the Walnut Stain, but this one has a little bit less, so I'm not going to add as much. I just want to kind of create a little bit of a border around it. And I guess, I mean, most people don't make the same art journal page back to back, but I have to do something, the same one, just because I'm trying to show you what I did. So all the texture, everything, just it's just really neat. I really like this technique. I use this technique on a layout, on a 7 dots layout that I will be having on my blog in May. So just really cool to play around. The other color I added is the Spice Marmalade. It's a little bit more of an orangey tinge, just to add, because I'm doing a kind of rusted kind of look. So you need a little bit of the orangey kind of marmalades. Oh, hi Marta. Who did I not say hi to? I'm like missing a few people. I'm not sure. I think I said hi to Virag. I try not to say too many highs, not because I'm not trying to be polite, but just because when people watch this after, they get very annoyed that I'm talking to other people that they cannot see. And although I know that I shouldn't care what they think, but I mean, my viewers are my viewers, so. Okay, so there we go. So this is just a light area, you know, just to kind of make it. And, well, hi Vivian. Okay, so my friend Vivian and Isela, the two girls, those are the ones I teach in their stores. One is in Ecuador and one is in Costa Rica. So yeah, so that's they came to support me here. All right, so this is basically the background, and now I'm going to add some of this. This is now my favorite thing. This is one of my favorites. It is this rusted place, but I'm thinking, you know, maybe I'll put the title first. You know why? Because it was hard to put this title before. So I'm going to put the title first, and I'm going to show you what I did. These, I don't know if you guys seen this. This is this is Prima Marketing. It's a stick-on, adhesive rub-ons, and they're cool. So they're used with foil, but today I'm going to show you a different technique to use them with, which I love. And I think I'm going to be strong. I think I'm going to do that. I think it's going to be good to do be strong. Okay, so what I do, is I cut the part that I want to use. So I'm gonna cut this part that says be strong. I mean, it's just a good message for everybody who's going through something. And even if not, it's always good to, you know, just do the best you can do. Okay, so this, you can hear how rough it is. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to show you how this works. So what you do is, I think I've shown this before, I think. Let me just, I'm looking for a stick to rub it. Oh, there it is. Okay. The reason, last time I didn't do this first, but because I know what I'm doing, I wanted to do this in advance. So I want to put it here. So B, let's see, strong, let's see. Okay, yeah, so this ones I can put, I didn't have room last time to put these closer. So all you do is like you rub it like a rub-on. But the nice thing about it is that it has a stickiness to it. So you can basically use it to stick anything. And let me see. Okay. And here's the other one. I'm going to put the B. So right now you can't really see it that well, but you will in a second. And here's the other one. I'm just going to rub it. So let me see, make sure that I rubbed all of it properly so it doesn't okay, there we go. So if you actually touch this, which I don't recommend, it's actually really sticky. So I don't touch it while you just put it on, because it's going to get stuck to your, I mean, it's going to come off. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to use, oops, mica, and I use the gold mica, and this is a really fun technique, and you can use any color you want with this. I could even go a different color, but I want to show you the same color that I used already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub mica on top of this, and what's going to happen is the mica is going to get stuck only to the areas that the adhesive, the rub-on is on. So you see, so you can use this as an alternative for the let's say you run out of foil, or you want it to be, you know, a different color that you don't have in foil, then this is a quick technique. I will show this to you. You see? And it's just beautiful, smooth, doesn't come off. Perfect. And you can use any color you want for that. Now I'm gonna go back to these two. So another thing that I use this stencil with the paste, and I also used this stamp. This is from Tim Holtz. It's called Stampers Anonymous, and it's a Tim Holtz collection, and it's a stamp. It's called, oh sorry, this is from Stampers Anonymous, but it's called Perspective. And I just added a little bit of texture with the spiced marmalade. So just a little bit. You notice I always hold my stamps up like this, so you don't get the full effect. I don't want to get the full stamp. I just want to get a little piece of it, and I find that's the best solution. So I just get a little bit of texture on different areas. And there we go. Oh, a little bit more. Let's try a different numbers, because I'm getting the same numbers all the time. Okay, so here you can see it's just little things that add texture. I'm going to clean my stamp, and we're going to go with the next idea. Okay, so I want to show you, so the reason I did this, I I love this, and I used a similar texture to this. I used a graphite texture to create this really cool circle on one of my pages. So I'm going to do the same thing here. First, I'm going to just use the texture. Now, this is my favorite one. It's the Rust Effect. This is the red rust, and I'm also going to use the brown one. It's called, yeah, brown rust. And first, I'm going to use it with a spatula, and just to create some more texture. Okay. All right, hold on. I need to see. This is okay. And I think I jumped from one thought to another, thinking I have missed something. Okay, so I'm going to create some texture here. And you can hear the grittiness, how gritty it is, right? And there we go. And a little bit more on this side. You have to use quite a lot of it, but then you can, most of it comes back after. There we go. And maybe a little bit here. Okay. And let's look over here. And a little bit here. I want to make sure I be careful with the title. I don't want to go over it. All right, that's good. So in the center, we're going to do this. The center piece is going to be the butterfly, right? And I love those rusted butterflies. Sorry, one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of rust to the edges. It just makes it more distressed. And I just have a little bit left in my spatula, so all I have to do is just kind of rub it, and it just, you don't want to waste this spatula. And you can also scrape it off your stencil and then continue on and do some more. So it's a really good way of, you know, getting rid of what you have, because otherwise it goes to waste, or you're trying to wipe it off and it's hard to wipe off. So it's a good way of doing it. This rust paste is one of my favorites from Prima's new releases. So it's really fun. It comes in a set of 3 colors. Gold is one of them. And then there's the red and the brown paste. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the brown and do the same thing. I want a little bit of the brown also as part of the texture. I'm trying to see if there's any questions, and I don't see, but okay. Hi Jaya, hi Yaya, I think it is, and Aga. I'm trying to see who else. A few people have logged in. Thank you for coming. So yeah, you missed the beginning, but you can watch the recording. It's the how I created the background with, how I got this background with the salt. So it might be good for you guys to watch it after. All right. So as you can see, I mean, this is the gold is not as strong. You can't see it as much. I mean, it's not as good as maybe another color, but I really didn't want to change colors. So that's why I left it the way it is. Let me just, I need to clean my stencil a little bit better than this, because otherwise it's going to get stuck in there. I want to show you the next step. But let this dry a little bit. I'm letting the rust paste dry while I clean my stencil. Okay. Okay, so and this is the Tim Holtz. I forgot to mention, this is called the Typo stencil. It's also Tim Holtz. I should have mentioned that. But any alphabet stencil will work. Okay, that's the best I can do. I'm so bad. I don't clean my stencils really well. It's really not good. All right, so what I did is I also use the rust paste to create this circle. And the way I did it is really funny way. You're gonna see how I did it. So I use this lid, this little plastic that comes inside the lid, okay? And usually it comes with paste on it when you open the jar, but since it doesn't have it now, I just put a little bit on, like this, okay? And then I go here and I start basically giving it circles. I know it's a silly way, but what I like about it is that you get this kind of Saturn effect. And I say Saturn because you get these like rings around it. So I really like the effect. I'm trying to be very careful with the word, sorry. So this is the Saturn effect that I'm calling it. I'll call it the Saturn effect. Why is it not? I'm going to show it to you from closer. You see you get these like rings around it, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the brown. You see this one already has a little bit, so I don't have to do much, and I'm just going to so it comes like this. It creates this effect, but I want it a little bit thicker. I want it to be a bit more 3D, so I'm going to add a little bit more. This is too much. Okay. And this one is going to be smaller, and this one I'm just going to do a different effect. You can actually lift it like this and it creates this really cool texture. I'll show you. Okay, just by lifting it. So you can do anything you want, and there's a yes, and you're right, Carol. Carol is saying that I should like put a container with water. You know, I've been doing this for many years, and I always say I'm going to do that, and I never do. And I should. And I should put a container, a bucket with water, and then just put my stencil inside, but I just never do it. By the time I remember it, it's exactly time to almost finish the show. So I'm just going to add some thread. I'm going to make it into like kind of like a circle. So 1 second. Oh, hi Tiffany. Hold on, just getting a bunch of thread. Okay, and since my paste is still wet, I can kind of use it to kind of stick my string onto it. What else do I have? Oh, I have the beautiful butterflies. These are my favorite. So these mechanicals from Prima are just stunning. I love these butterflies. There's a bunch of them that come in here. And I already used, there's one that is large, that is this color. Okay, that's the one I use on the first. It's like a rusted kind of metal. But because I want to use the bigger butterfly, I'm going to rust my own. Okay. So this one is kind of like a bronze kind of color. And what we can do is we can just use a little bit of what we have on the spatula and kind of make our own rustic butterfly. I want to use a little bit of gold. Hold on. I'm going to use the gold one too. This is the third color that it comes in. And I'll show you. So again, you can just use your finger for this and just kind of use it, make it a little bit more rustic. So you can stick it here. And I'm gonna glue it with hold on, with actual heavy gel or with 3D gel. Either one is okay. I just don't want to, I mean, you could, it will probably stick with the paste, but because I'm doing a show, I prefer just actually putting gel on it. So this is the heavy body gel. You could also use 3D gel. I'm using my finger, very not mannered. Haha. Okay. And hold on. Oops, too much. Okay. Okay. So that's the, I'm going to show it to you in a second. So this is the, see, the butterfly, and it says be strong. And oh, I think I forgot something. Okay, just going to show you one more thing. The other thing I did is wait, where is the marker? I just took a marker and I highlighted, hold on, my fingers are all dirty. I basically highlighted the words. I just wanted to kind of for them to stick out. So that's that. Hold on. And then I have one more thing I did. So just 1 second. This is the R. And sorry, this is quiet time because I'm trying to concentrate so I don't make a mistake. And I love these words, and also these adhesive rub-ons. They come in many different shapes. Besides the words, they come in a lot of different like patterns, and they're really nice. Okay, so you see, now you can see the word a little bit better. And hold on. Jenna likes that I use my finger. I use my fingers for everything. I'm very like, I need to touch and feel everything. So I do use my fingers a lot for a lot of things. That's why I always have dirty nails. And okay, so there's that. And then just 1 minute because I forgot something. I guess I could have used the rust, the gold rust, but I actually used the metallic gold rush from Prima, which I can't open. I think I used this because, I don't know, maybe I didn't use this one because I cannot open it. Oh, there I did. And I added a little bit of gold accents to it with a paintbrush. So you could use the rust or you could use this. I just like the metallic version. And I just, again, added a little bit more of an edge to it to match the gold mica that I had used. Oh, Elaine woke up. Hi, Elaine. I'm so glad you made it, even if it's almost towards the end. So, okay, hold on. So I'm just making a little bit more of a border, and you don't want a perfect border. You want to kind of have it distressed. That's the nice thing about it. My screen keeps on going down. Okay, and I want to just add a little bit of more gold to this. I think it needs also like, and I find that using my fingers also helps to kind of control the paint. I'm using a little bit of gold to kind of mix it with this. I'm trying to think if I missed anything in the other one. Yeah, I think I added like more gold. I'll show you. I'll dry this one up and I'll show you the difference between the two. I think it needs like that gold. I have to tell you, I find gold helps any project. Every time I put gold on something, somehow it becomes really, really cool. So, oops. And yeah, so let me just dry it up and I'll show you the other side too. So I really like combining the blues and the greens. Rika's saying that it's a really nice color combo, but I really like the gold and the rust. Looks really good obviously with the blues and the turquoises because it's like almost like a patina kind of effect. What's nice about these rusts is that they also dry really quickly. I'm trying to close my jars so they don't dry up my paint. They dry really quick. And I want to show you the other page that we did that I did earlier. And I'm going to show you this from close up. So this is, I think it needs, you know what, sorry. And before I show you that, I think this butterfly needs a little bit more of like highlights in gold, so you can see that it's sticking out of this. Otherwise you won't be able to see this butterfly. I think I should add it to the other butterfly too. See, the other butterfly was already kind of goldish. There, I think you can see this better now. I want to show you now. I want to show it to you. This is the butterfly. And it's like all the rust. I'll show you. And I'm going to show you the other side. So just a very similar page, basically the same. The only difference that I did is that I put the title on this one first. As you can see, it was a little bit easier that way. And I want to show you the original one that I did here. I might have to add, you see the water is still wet. This is the original, and what happened is that I had it on an angle, so some of the water has pooled here, so I need to add a little bit more salt. So I'm going to show some of the people that came late how I did it. I just added some sea salt and some kosher salt, and it really helps soak up everything, and that's the effect that you get after. So it's really, really cool. So go watch this from the beginning for those of you who came a little bit later, and you can see what it is. So this is this page turns into this page, and well, this is it for today. Next week I think we have Olga Heldwin. She's gonna be doing, you know, her usual cool stuff. Let me just turn on my turn this around so you can see me. Okay, there I am. There's stuff on my face. I hope I don't have anything. Do I have any paint on my face? I hope not. Anyways, I just really thank everybody for coming. Thank you for coming every week. Some of you come every week to support us, and we just try really hard to bring you innovative ideas. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week again. So have a great night or afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world. Bye. Thank you from Artist Live. Just gonna stop this.